Okay guys, it's your girl Mac Cox with Maccouture Crafting, and I'm hoping that it's okay if we chat because I got some stuff that I need to get off my chest. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I decided to up and run off to Reno, Nevada. Why? There's a quilt show, and I've decided that I'm a brand and I want to go do all the quilty things. All right, fine. So I'm on Instagram scrolling on Wednesday or Thursday, and I saw, I think it's Material Girls Obsessions or something, Material Girls or Material Obsessions. The people who are here, you guys know them. I think they're twins. I saw them. They were like, oh, we're going to a quilt show, and I was like, yes, quilt show time. I totally forgot we're still in the middle of the pandemic. I just went on a whim, and I'm in Los Angeles, California, so it's about 8 hours, and I was like, I'm gonna drive. My husband was like, you're going by yourself because I'm not going, so don't drive. He was like, fly. I said, all right, cool. Booked a ticket, booked a room, just jumped up and did this. There was just not much thought that went behind it. I was excited. I'm like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm gonna vlog the whole thing, so on and so forth. If you've ever flown into an international airport, you know that it's chaos. And I ran into chaos, and I am not a experienced traveler. I travel, yes. I probably have traveled a lot more than some people, but it's not like I'm doing this all the time. And I'm usually traveling with somebody that I can also depend on to catch the things that I'm just not. Did you guys know that you don't have to take your shoes off anymore to get through TSA? I did not. Had to walk past some dogs that were sniffing you. Very, very different experience. If you are concerned about the pandemic and you want to be 6 feet away, this is not the place to go because everybody is packed in like sardines in these lines and nobody cares, and people are half wearing their face masks and things like that. But I'm going to a quilt show. Quilt show's in Reno, so that's about an hour-and-a-half flight away from LA, and I'm going to take you guys with me. All right? So I missed my flight, guys. I have never missed a flight before. You guys wouldn't believe it if I told it to you, so I'm gonna tell it to you, and then you can tell me if you believe it. Missed my flight. When you guys saw me, I was sitting down eating pretzels at the gate. Got in line at 7:30, maybe a little earlier, which is when the flight boarded. Stood in the line. What I should have done was walk straight up to the front of the line, but I didn't. I stood in the line because that's what I am. I am line culture. I don't make a big issue. I don't try to jump the front of the line. I just stand in the line where I was told to stand. Looked down, it was 8 o'clock. I was like, huh, my flight must be delayed. I'm hoping I get a text message, anything to tell me that the line is delayed. No, missed my flight. You guys, if you know me personally, you know I'm never late anywhere. I don't do late. Late is bad. I missed my flight. So, okay, fine, missed my flight. Annoyed. What do? I'm a grown up, right? I got two options. Either we can try to find another flight or we can get out of here. So I went to the airline after walking through LAX, which is ridiculous. Trying to walking through LAX is not, I might as well be at Disneyland walking. It's ridiculous. So I get to customer service and they're like, oh, yeah, here's another flight. You're on standby. It leaves out at at 1 o'clock. Standby? Who's doing standby? So I Google some other airlines, see what I can do. It's been a long time since I've flown, and so I don't remember where each terminal is, and I guess I could have Googled it, but you don't get service. You got to be on their stuff, and I'm annoyed, so I'm not thinking clearly. People are giving me the wrong directions, and when I tell you I'm walking, I probably did, I don't know, like 6 miles just in the tunnels alone. You guys know if you've been to LAX, in the tunnels, it's ridiculous. So I get to Alaska. They didn't have anything. I don't even know how I ended up at Alaska. That wasn't where I was trying to go. But again, people were giving me poor directions. So then I get to United, and once I found the customer service, because there are no people. People do not exist. You know, you used to be able to walk up to the gate and there'd be a person. That's not a thing anymore. No more people. Matter of fact, Alaska was like, oh, we only take reservations online. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Get over to United. Beautiful people. Lovely. Should have probably flown United in the first place. They just feel a little more elegant than American, which is what I was flying initially. And I'm mad at them, so everybody's better than American right now. And when I finally got up to the line at American, they were like, there's not enough people working. So it's a lot of confusion. So anyway, I go to United. They're like, hey, we can get you on a flight. I'm like, all right, what's the cost? I was scared. I was scared because I wasn't sure how much the cost was. And you guys know me, I'm impulse and I will pay. And so they probably could have said anything. And they were like, oh, it's $70. I was like, book it. He was like, well, book it online because there's like a $50 fee. So I'm like, great. So I book it online. He's like, I'll check you in. So he checks me in. The issue is I've got my girl with me and I do not have, I don't have no carry-on. It's no carry-on. And so I was like, you guys, I have a carry-on. And they're like, just take your jacket out of the bag. take your jacket out and consolidate. Now, I am an overpacker to say the least. I don't know if that's possible, but when I tell you I'm going to jump up and down on this Loungefly bag until I can compact it down and get it into this bag, because I'm over it. So, my flight was supposed to leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm now leaving at 12:30, and I won't get there until 2. I don't know what time the show ends, but whatever it is, I'm going to Nevada. When I get there, I'm going to have the world's largest glass of something and hit some slots and just try to relax for a moment. The Adventures of Mac and the Reno Quilt Show. I'm always on time everywhere. Matter of fact, I'm usually early because I don't like the feeling of being late. So I control all that. What happened was American Airlines had a gate that had about 10 letters associated with it. So like you might be gate CA, CJ, CB, all of that, right? And you're all going through the same line. I stood in the line assuming that there was a reason for the line. They're like, stand in line. Okay, cool. So I'm standing in the line. You guys, I stood right there and missed my flight in the line to get through the gates that wasn't moving. And instead of the people saying, make sure there's no line here because there's no reason to have a line, they were just standing there at the gate letting people in and out who had sense enough to walk to the front and say, hey, can I go through? Which is what I should have done. I should have been more aggressive. I should have been more diligent in knowing what time my flight left when it boarded, because there was no screen that said, hey, flight such and such boarding at this time, like there usually is. And you know how many times we've heard, hey, Miss Cox, we know that you're here. You need to make your way to the... None of that. That didn't happen. So once I finally got to the front of the line, the lady was like, we're understaffed. I'm like, but what? You're kidding, right? No, that happened. So then, LAX is a huge international airport. And so trying to get from one terminal to the next is utterly ridiculous by foot. And you end up walking under tunnels and miles and upstairs and things. And I'm just not built for that at this time. So it was a little rough on your girl. So by the time I finally got to customer service, they're like, all right, we'll book you another flight. It's later on. You'll get there at 1. I was supposed to get there at 10, like 9 or 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. You'll get there at 1. I'm like, all right. That gives me a few hours to still, you know, get there and kind of walk around and see, because I think the show closed at 4 or 5 that night. Fine. They're like, yeah, but this flight is booked, so you're going to fly standby. I'm like, what? Oh, annoyed with a capital A, because that means I might not get on that flight. And that flight wasn't leaving for another, this is 8 o'clock in the morning, so it wasn't leaving for another 4.5 hours or so. Long story, we're going to say long story short, even though I've been going on for a while. I walked to another terminal, booked another flight. That flight left at the same time, but it was a guarantee that I was going to be able to get on that flight because I had a seat. You're probably saying, where is she now? She is laying on the ground. I found a nice quiet place where I can just catch a couple of Z's, because you guys, look, I'm tired. I work nights. I got up early. You guys know I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. So, hey, we are just going to do what we can do. And we're going to catch a couple hours. We're going to see if we can catch a couple winks. We'll see. If somebody comes and tries to rob me or kicks me or whatever, we're going to hope that that doesn't happen. I feel really good. I'm in a very secluded place. So, as somebody walks by, I call it secluded, but it's the airport. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. It's all fun and games until somebody comes and finds your spot and has a full conversation, or two, or several people. So I don't know. I think I've been asleep for maybe 30 minutes. I'm just not comfortable Floor is hard. My earrings are diving into the back of my neck, you know, just stupid stuff. But I was checking to see what stores are open, but a lot of the stores in the airport are closed. So I'm like, crap. So let's go find a restaurant to eat. I can always eat. I don't know what I'm in the mood for, but this bag is heavy, so I won't be going too far. And I will see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so it is about 11:30, and I looked at my phone, and it was about to die. Well, it's not about to die, it's on 50%, and I thought, okay, no big deal. I bought a whole power bank. A whole power bank right here. Not an issue. Plug the phone into the power bank with the cord. It won't charge. I'm like, what? It's all right, fine. There are tons of charging stations around here. Plugging into the charging stations, the thing wouldn't light up. It's just gonna be one of those days. So, in order to charge the phone, I've got to take the cord and plug it into the power bank, but the power bank must be plugged into a socket that works. I'm tempted to just go home because I feel like all the signs are telling me to go home. We'll see. But nonetheless, actually, I shouldn't say that. I should be strength-based and say we figured out a way to charge the phone. So now the phone is charging. I didn't get any food yet. Maybe I need to eat. Maybe I need to eat and then I'll feel better. So this is what I got. $20 at the airport. Okay, so we touched down. The flight wasn't horrible. It was it was a small plane. I'm a big girl, and I was sitting next to somebody who made me a little uncomfortable. But other than that, we had a little turbulence. It's when the plane got quiet. Everybody was talking, and then the turbulence started to happen, and everybody got very, very quiet. But it wasn't just the turbulence, it was he was actually flying the plane. The plane was not just doing its own thing. He was working for his money that day. No worries. So I'm hoping that I get to the resort by 3. At least that's what the lift says, but this lift is taking forever to get here. At this point, we're just gonna let whatever happens happen, and we're gonna be okay with it. We are gonna play some slots. We're gonna see what's in the area and just chill, because it is what it is. But I will have from 10 to 3 tomorrow. So hopefully, you know, if this is a bigger show, I might be, you know, out of luck a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. You know, there's only one way to find out, and that's to just go and do. So yeah, just waiting on my lift. Got to the hotel super fast in like 5, maybe 6 minutes, maybe 10 at the max. Taxi driver, whoa. But I'm here. So I can see on the resort, like you can't see it, but it'll say quilt something, blah, 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 something else, something, blah, blah, blah. So I'm at least at the right place, because I just knew I was going to get here and it was going to be the wrong location. That, get to Reno, get ready to check in, and the woman's like, you do not have a reservation. I'm like, yes, I do. You guys, I was a mess. I'm sleeping on the floor in the airport, like just a hot mess. I'm walking miles underground to get to, I was just a hot mess. Okay, just made it into the room. It's really nice. It's huge. This is a very, very large, dark room. The taxi driver drove crazy, but we got here and it's just a regular room. Again, the taxi driver, boy, he was driving all kind of crazy. But the hotel is super close to the airport. So it's probably not even 3:30 yet, which is excellent. And so I felt comfortable coming to the room to see, oh, look, interesting. And that's my view. And putting my stuff down before I go to the main event, which I'm going to right this second. Those are all doors. That's pretty cool. It's a nice illusion in this long hall. It was not how I saw my day going. However, I try to be strength-based. I try to find the good in things, and even though all that happened, I needed it to happen so that it doesn't happen going forward, because I still plan on going to quilt shows, but I need to handle it a little different. I need to be a little more diligent in some areas, so on and so forth. So I got this now. But when I got to the show and I finally got through the doors, it was like, ah, it was amazing. It's how I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Quilts make me feel different. Quilt shows make me feel different. Quilty people make me feel different in such a good way. And again, when I got through those doors, the people were just super kind and welcoming. No masks. Nevada, no mask. I wasn't ready for that. I saw that going differently. Again, still a pandemic. I was like, whoa.
We're still...
Welcome to Nevada, we don't care. We have gambling and prostitution, we don't care about that.
But everybody was just so nice, and you could totally see their faces because, again, no masks. Everybody was smiling because they were happy they were at a quilt show. The Reno Quilt Show is a regional show, so it's not a huge show, but it was a good show for me to kind of start off with. I don't know if you need to fly into town for the Reno Quilt Show. It's more like famous locals kind of that do that show and teach the classes and things like that. They had some cool classes that they were offering, and it was a textile and quilt, so you've got some clothing and a little bit of everything. You have the good, the toffee lady. I was tearing her toffee up. I was so happy to have that toffee. I didn't know what to do. Just a little bit of everything, really. Handy Quilter was there. I had a great time at the Handy Quilter booth. I keep talking about buying a long arm, and I thought I had my mind made up. Secret, I was going to buy the Stettler, the by Gamble, so I was going to go big. But I might not now. I'm actually reconsidering it because of many things. But once we get into the long arm conversation, you guys know I'm going to tell you guys where I'm going. But I am considering the Handy Quilter now, and that would save me like literally almost half. If I purchased that machine, it would be almost half what the machine I was thinking about getting cost. And especially since the machine that I was thinking about getting is going up by $7 grand at the end of the month, which is absurd, but whatever. Martelli was there. Always a good time at Martelli booth. I think they make amazing products, and I will show you guys some of their products going forward. Martelli are the people who have that really cool rotary cutter that people swear by. And they also have those really nice templates that don't move. They've got the table that goes up and down. You guys know Martelli. They're at all the shows, little or big, apparently. And again, always a good time. Love those people. Who else did I see? Got a chance to just chat with people. Just people in general. Quilty people. I'll talk to just about anybody. So if I see you, don't make eye contact with me. If you see me in a quilt store and you do not want to talk to me, don't make eye contact, because I assume that is a free-for-all and I get to say, hey, what's up, what you looking at, what'd you see, what's good, what should I buy, so on and so forth. Oh, Rona the Ribbiter. Yes, yes. I bought so many of her patterns. I might have bought every pattern that she has. Best conversation ever. Really enjoyed her so much. We are kindred spirits, truly. Who else? Oh, they had an Elvis tribute. So their quilts were the Elvis themed. I love Elvis, so it was right up my alley. What else? I didn't buy much because I couldn't take it home, which is good. Something else to think about. Because yes, your girl is going for the big gun. She will be in Houston in October. We'll find out if I'm going to do, let me see, if I'm going to do festival or if I'm going to do market and festival. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted, but I definitely learned the things. But if you want to see what the show looked like through my eyes, me walking around, me looking at the booth, seeing what I saw, this wasn't a super duper modern show. So like I didn't see any capes, I didn't see any tulas, which are right up my alley. But I saw quilts, and it's just the feeling of being around creative people who quilt. It's something about it, guys. So if you'd like to see what the show looked like through my eyes, please continue watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye-bye. Okay, so this is the very beginning of the quilt show. I like to walk all the way to the end and then zigzag up and down the showroom floors. That's kind of how I do it everywhere. So this booth was the Diamond Dots booth. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Diamond Dots. It's the sticky tape that you peel back
and then you place the dots on there. And I get why they would be at a quilt show because it's very, very similar to cross stitch in my mind. Like it's totally, and I've done it. I've done a diamond dots painting, and I probably will do some more. They had a make and take here, and I forgot that I wanted to do it, but I would have loved to have done a bookmark, and those were the first things that you were seeing were the bookmarks. So I wasn't able to keep a lot of the footage that I shot. It's okay. This is a learning process. Now we know so that when we get to the show, what we need to do. Um, this is the Aloha. This had a very Hawaiian feel. I can't remember the name of this particular booth, but they were very beachy. And she was saying that. She was like, I pretty much supply beachy fabric. And I like that. I like when people have a lane and they stick to it. When they don't do a little bit of everything. They just are like, here, this is me, this is what I do. I bought that pattern. I think that is the cutest quilt ever. You guys have seen these design walls. They're like shades that come down so that your design wall isn't visible all the time, which I think is really cool. This is a quilt that you could win in a raffle. I didn't realize how big a king quilt is until I saw that one. And I'm not sure what the subjects are here, but just some more quilts all around as we pan over. I'm not sure who, if these are guild quilts. I don't know. I do not remember, but they're just quilts. These are tiny, like small art quilts. Oh, I really liked this booth. I think this was an art school I think this is an art school, this particular booth. Nope, I'm wrong. It's upcoming though. Is this the art school booth? I can't remember. Sunrise, sunset, so pretty. Ooh, look at that one. It's got snowballs. Oh, those are nice. I said that this wasn't a modern, and you know what? This still is kind of lays right in the middle. I guess I'd say that this is more contemporary than actual modern. Okay, so this is the art booth. Isn't this interesting? I want to make these. The eagle and that phoenix, oh, I'm here for it. I would love to make these. So many ideas of how to embellish one of these. If you guys don't know, my first love is paper crafting. And I bet you I could fashion some kind of something, some kind of way with that same technique. I stayed there for a while staring at those. Oh, I didn't even see that. It's so funny when I go back and see the footage. I want to make that feather bed scarf. Oh, look at the little doggy patterns. I have some doggy patterns that are actually like vegetables that were turned into dogs. I know that sounds crazy, but at some point I'm going to put those together and it's going to be cute. And so, oh, Shiseko, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not, but I want to say that it is a form of embroidery. And I want to say baby lock, Shiko. I think maybe, I don't know, I could be saying it wrong. But I know it's super popular, so much so that there is a sewing machine that gives you the look of those same stitches. And it really looks like a long running stitch to me, like a really pretty one where you use a really thick thread. I quite like it. And look at this right here, just a neat shape quilt. A nice, I don't know, maybe a table runner. And here's another quilt with some charm squares. There was a woman who was just so psyched to see that because she had that same pack of charm squares. You know that one's right up my alley because it's got an ombre. That's pretty cool. I like these too. Again, I'd say that these are more contemporary. I think this is the booth of the ladies who I saw on Instagram, which made me want to come to this in the first place. Oh, that's a pretty use of those gelato jelly rolls. It's a nice stair step pattern. Oh my goodness, I forgot to go back to this booth. Disney. Lots and lots of Disney. Disney stuff that I hadn't really seen before. I could have done a whole fat quarter bundle of Mickey. I forgot to go back there. I could have found a way to put that in that suitcase that was already too full. And then we've got a Mickey and a Minnie panel. We've got Buzz and Woody, more Disney. I haven't seen this much Disney in a long time. Yeah, I should, yeah, I don't think maybe I've never seen that much Disney fabric in one space. Look at all these panels. I think I'm going to do a whole section or a whole month on what we can do with panels because I've got some ideas. And I've done some interesting things already with panels, so we'll see. Who is this? And remember I said that this was a textile kind of show. So we had some coats over there. Um, this is the Elvis section where they were doing a tribute to Elvis. And lots of them had tons of tricky things on their quilts, which is really cool, like peekaboo things and all of that. Although you really don't want people touching your quilts, so the people with the white gloves, I have no idea if they have a formal name. I want to call them ushers, but that feels wrong. The people with the white gloves who touch, there we go. There was a woman who was like, I'll walk you around, and she showed me the backs of the quilts because she said some of them had some funky backs. Inspired by Elvis. Elvis is in the house. Absolutely. I am an Elvis fan. In my mind, I think I thought somebody was going to be able to read that. Just my teddy bear. You can kind of tell, like, pink Cadillac, um, Jailhouse Rock. Oh, yeah, that's super cute. She's pointing out the fact that that teddy bear has a turned down collar. Which other ones? Like you can totally tell. I can't remember what songs these are from. Look at the bee. And I mean, this Elvis installation really did wrap around the other Elvis impersonators. That's cool. It wrapped around the show, one side of the show for sure. I think that, oh, that's right. That's got the panel where he's got the army bottoms and then the dress bottoms, I think. Um, I can't remember. What was this? Oh, I can't. Some of these I just can't remember what the titles of the songs were that they went with. Any other day I could call probably 20 Elvis songs, like right off the bat. Maybe that's nothing but a hound dog with the dogs. Um, but right now, when I need to be able to recall them, I got nothing. Elvis has left the building. That was kind of funny, that one. And you can see Elvis way off to the right. He's sneaking off, and the microphone is left there. Pretty techniques. What else? Let's see. Again, don't freak out. Don't run away. Don't unsubscribe based on this crazy footage. I swear, I was trying to work. Oh, I think that's the blue suede shoes. I was trying to work within my new camera, and this really wasn't the day to test it. But, hey, I'm going to get it together. By the time I go to Houston, you guys are going to get the footage of a lifetime. I really believe that I will get better. I've already got some things in mind. I have no idea what this is. Ooh, there he is. Just a nice picture of your boy, which makes me want to put a picture on that ombre background. Oh, look at him. My preference is young Elvis with all the movies. I don't know how many Elvis movies I have. I think I have the set. I was a weird kid. I don't know why I was so into Elvis, but I was young Elvis. I really like that quilt. One of my faves. Well, I just finished getting all the footage, and now I'm at the oyster bar, and I am going to see what kind of trouble I can get into at this oyster bar. I want something good. So we shall see.
I figured out how to work it. So I had a really nice night. I went to sleep. I thought I was going to get up. I thought I was going to gamble. I thought I was going to do all the things. I didn't. Apparently I was exhausted and I went to sleep. And it was some of the best sleep I've had in forever. So I got up this morning and I went to the quilt show, and the quilt show was cool. It's not big at all. There's a lot of people in there now. It looks a lot more diverse than it did yesterday. If you were taking classes, this would be a multiple day show, but Hi, how are you? Yes, the quilt show is cool. It's neat. But it's smaller. It's like definitely a one-day event kind of thing, unless you're taking classes. Some cool vendors. This is not modern by any means. I haven't seen what I would consider a truly modern kind of quilt yet, which is fine. We like to appreciate all kinds of quilts and everything. They have a couple of the sewing machine vendors out here. I'm going to try to get some video of those. But other than that, it's just a nice small quilt show. Nothing else too much going on. Yesterday was chaotic, but today, nice and easy. Easy peasy. So hopefully I will be able to show you guys some more footage coming up. And yeah.
Brought this design in, and then we'll go up here and repeat. So we'll go ahead and repeat horizontally first. And then we can go ahead and add some vertical repeats in there. You can either leave the gap in there if you want to do a different design in there later, or you can go ahead and come back to the horizontal, and then we'll make sure point to point is selected so everything's locked together. And then we will go back to vertical and change that gap. So I'm either spacing it out here, or if I go minus it, I'm squeezing them together and closing that gap.
Oh, I see it. It's happening.
I could go ahead and put a number in there if I knew exactly what it was. So let's try -3 and see if we get a little closer.
Way closer.
And then we can zoom in here too. We can be as exact as we want with this. If we hit the zoom in button, I can come in here and see that looks pretty good. I can also go a little closer. I can take the machine and also we'll bring the design over. So the crosshairs are within the design now. We'll go ahead and zoom in, and we can measure between using that little measuring button here.
Oh, the measuring paper.
It'll tell me my X and my Y, so I'm about ½ an inch gap on in between the design that was already designed. So if I uncheck the measurement and come down here to where my gap is, let's see which one's moving here. That one. So I'm going to go ahead and measure.
I really like the height of this. Is that customizable with the frame?
Of the design?
No. The height that we're working.
Yes, the whole thing is adjustable. We're about 0.01 from being exact, so I can either change it just a little bit here.
Here it is.
Yep, we're about spot on right there. So the whole thing is adjustable. There's side brackets that you can change the height of, and also you can buy a hydraulic lift if you'd like.
Nice. Well, I don't know that I would need to go up and down. I mean, unless people quilt. Do people quilt sitting down?
Yes, they do.
You're kidding.
Yep. They either get like a saddle stool and they bring it right up, especially to do some micro work. So the other nice thing with this is these handlebars are both adjustable this way and also down, so you can make these into micro handles.
Nice.
So you've got tons of capabilities.
Didn't know.
Because we travel all over the United States.
And the other nice feature is it's got a laser pinpoint with the needle. So if you're doing any blocks and you want to go specifically in your ditch, or you want to get as close as to that block to put it in there, you can see exactly where it's going to stitch. Especially with applique as well. It's a really great feature if you're going around that. Or if you're doing an edge to edge and you want to crop out either a photo or, like I said, applique, you can go ahead, use that needle when you're going around. So we'll get an area going here. So I can put that needle right there, and if I hit this diamond, which is a multi-point, I can follow what I've already stitched out. Put as many marks as I want in here. We'll just come down here for simplicity of it. That should be just about a straight line here. So we made this little area here. And if I want it, I can go to modify, crop. We can crop the inside, and we're going to close it so that it cropped out that center. If we go back and clear the area, oops, I did not baseline once I did the crop, so let's redo that. That area in there. If I hit baseline, then I can clear the area, and you can see that gap is in there.
Oh, so now you can stitch around that without even...
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it's really, you've got so many capabilities with cropping and moving the design.
The other day and I wondered, I was like, did they applique on top of it? I was like, or did they go around it? I was thinking nobody can go around that like that. Yes, they can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, they can.
Yep, if you're willing to sit there and do the clicking all the way around it, you can crop around anything. Round, square,
Whatever.
oblong.
Whatever the...
Yep, specifically somebody's face.
This was Rona the Riveter's booth, and unfortunately I was using that other camera that I had no business using. But I love that pattern on the wall so much. It looks like it's going to come together so quickly, and I like the size too. It's a nice throw. I don't know who's getting that, but somebody is. I think about all of these because they just were cool. This was actually my favorite booth. And I don't know if it was because it was just such amazing company or if it's just because I really like those. I liked the color story in that quilt that was dead ahead. I just liked it. Okay guys, so I am in the airport on time, just like I was before. Although again, I don't see myself missing this flight. They will be boarding in probably about less than an hour. And so, yes, that is exciting. I'm exhausted again. I'm probably going to fall right asleep on this plane. The show, I think it was really good that I came. I think that everything worked itself out the way that it was supposed to. I had just enough time to do the things that I wanted to do. I did some excellent networking. I'm very, very, very happy. I am just in love with some of the people that I've met. You know, crafty people are cool. Quilty people are cool people. And I met some really, really, really cool people. So now it's just time to get home and get all this edited and ready to upload for you guys and get back on it. Because I know it's been a while since I've dropped an actual quilt tutorial, but I've got 3 coming up. Back to back to back, which is how I burned myself out the last time. So after this, we'll spread them out a little bit, but something special's coming. So I will check you guys when I get back home. Bye-bye. I think it's very interesting that when I deplaned on my way back, they put me off in the middle of the runway. Guys, this was the weirdest trip I have ever been on. I've never been let off on the runway. I should not be able to reach out and touch a plane. Like, you should not be able to reach out. Look, right there, there's a plane. I shouldn't be there. It's wrong. If you guys made it this far, I really appreciate you. Leave me comments in the bottom and tell me what you think of this crazy, crazy trip. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much if you made it to the end. I promise it will get better. Bye-bye.